Right, I guess next up, I'm going to put the trigger on here. Put the trigger on here. Get rid of that packet and we'll get the trigger out. This is a very nice trigger. I might make another video in the future about the adjustment on these. I ended up not using the over travel adjuster on this because of how the actual trigger pack itself all functions as a whole. Works fine. But if you don't pull the trigger all the way back, oh, no, it'll do it that time, won't it? Oh, no, it will, because it's cut off. Where's the... When this trigger bar comes back and gets pushed down, it stays down, right? But if you don't have if you have the trigger adjusted to the point where it can't come all the way back and it's a little bit forward, as it's trying to reset everything, this will actually get tripped again. So it's only got a tiny bit of time when the bolt is returning, that bolt, when the bolt is returning, that it gets tripped on that again. And if it doesn't get tripped on that again, then it doesn't reset the trigger properly. And I'm pretty sure in function it would work fine. I'm pretty sure it would work fine. But I'm just like, I just can't be fucked dealing with that. And that one's the one that makes it hard to disassemble just the hammer housing out of there with leaving all the trigger stuff in. So I was just like, you know what, fuck this thing. I tried to change some of the geometry to make the actual trigger work properly, but it did not want to work properly, so it's all good. In the end, I just said, nah, it's fine. I'm not going to use it. However, I did use the pretty trigger, though. It's a very pretty trigger. These are hard to get into with these bloody gloves on, but silicone grease all over your hands, it's a pain in the ass to get off, eh? It really is. Right, trigger bar, where did I put you now after all of that? There's the little pin to push that fella out, but I don't actually need that to push that out. There's my trigger. Get rid of all of these packaging stuff. Actually, I'll keep that pin. Probably won't use that pin for what it's intended for, but these types of things are very handy to make parts out of. They really are. I keep those sorts of things in like my box of shit over here. Poke you out. Oi, oi, oi. Put that back in there, so we just keep that together. See you later into the box of could use agains one day, but probably won't. Yeah, I don't mind too much not having the over travel screw. It's the pre-travel I don't like in almost everything, eh? All of my guns, it's the pre-travel that annoys me. I like not touching the trigger unless I'm going to actually shoot, and if I'm going to actually shoot, I don't want there to be any pre-travel. I just want to be able to feel where my trigger is and then put some weight on it and it'll just break. So the over travel doesn't actually bother me. Is it nice having really short triggers? Yes, but it doesn't actually bother me. Right, and the last one of these I could just about push in. This one is pretty much the same. That tolerancing is good. Yeah. I'm just going to get it to sit in there like I did with the last one. Use this hammer today. That's nice. That is rather nice. I might give it just a tiny, tiny, tiny little doop. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's that one. There's that one. Right, I think that's all of my lower ready to go on there. Now, let's see if I can get this working on bloody camera today, eh? That one. That one. The longer leg sits on there. Trigger go inside. And I ended up finding out yesterday when I did this again, it's actually easier to do this upside down. And then you drop the thing over the top. You know what? I'm gonna take these off. I just can't feel what I'm doing. Excuses, he says. Excuses. Can't feel what he's doing. Whatever. He just doesn't even know. Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm just concentrating. Yeah, no, I suck at this part. Haven't had enough caffeine today, meaning I haven't had any caffeine today. It's not how the jitters are meant to work. The jitters are meant to be when you don't have any. Oh, sorry, when you do have any. I think this is just seems more difficult because it's a different trigger and it's not got as much tension holding everything together. It's kind of what it seems like to me. I don't know. Right, that's the main thing is if your spring for this fella is sitting in the right place, and it is sitting in the right place, so that will work. This spring here, you want the coils to be on the inside of that hoop to go down into that little groove. So if you hook that onto the trigger bar, you can just lift this housing up just enough to slip that on, up or down. That's ready for the pin to go in and the screws to go in. So that's what we shall do now. Get that pin to go in like so. If you hold this down, you can pull the trigger. Trigger's working. Bolt catch is working. Cool. Put the screws back in with a little bit of Loctite. Just a little bit. Give me a shaky shake. It's the first time I'm using this today. Just a little wee bit. Like just a little wee bit, just a couple dots. And that's all you need. You don't need to go crazy with this shit, eh? Hell, you probably don't even need Loctite on these. That's the biggest thing is you probably don't even need any Loctite. If you turn your screws backwards to start with, normally you'll feel the threads jump into place. And then start screwing forward. Don't screw them all the way up until you got everything started. Backwards, feel it jump in, go in, come off a little bit so it's not pulling anywhere. The same thing. There you go. And now you got all of them in. Also think about the order of stuff that you tighten things up. If you tighten these two, that's cool. But then when you tighten this one, if these ones have any forces holding it up, you're going to be forcing it down. So it's better with this. It's negligible here because the tolerances are nice and the parts fit together really well. But on other things where it does matter which direction you pull stuff, you would do up this screw first to pull that down into the housing. Because this one only pulls, squeezes. And then you can do up these two. Just checking they're all nice and snug, which they should be. Yep, look at that. Put this little fidget toy back in. Ooh, fidgeting. Right. We can drop this fella in. Can drop this fella in. Put the little spring on there. Put the gas cutoff into there. I'm calling this the gas cutoff because it literally cuts off the gas partway through the cycle. That's its job if you didn't know what it is. This has to go. Come on, you little bugger. this trigger bar doesn't come up as high with this trigger in here, which is fine. Just gotta maybe spin it a little. There we go. No, it's getting stuck. Having all sorts of fun today. There we go. There we go. So it's got to be in there. The bar pushes that back, and then when that resets, it trips down, allowing that sear to come forward. With that fella there still in there, you got to get that down in there. Do not forget about your little button. Little button go in there. Look at that. Fancy. Put this pin back in. Normally that's where you put that pin in, but that pin's replaced on my kit with this screw. So we can do a quick function check. Bang, we just fired the gun. Hammer comes back a little bit, trips that one, trips that one, trips that one. Don't know why that one tripped just then. Trips that one, and then poof. Ooh, are we gonna have more troubles with this one? We might have some different troubles with this one. Interesting. Interesting. First off, I need to find what I did with that. Oh, and I'll just screw this fella back down that way some more. Maybe I'll just take that out for now. Come out of there. Come on. Here we go. I'll put that one back in later, but this gun might have more troubles with that, but that's okay. Bugger it. I'm sure I'll get it to work. Right, I think we're going to do a quick function check and see if it actually wants to work. I'm just going to quickly screw this into here. Get the torque spec. Not talking as much today. I'm just feeling a little bit more tired today than. It works all right there. See if full auto works there. Seems like it's going to. Right, that seems like it's going to. Try some gas on it quickly. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. I did not prepare this one earlier today. I didn't really prepare anything earlier today. Where did I put that? There it is. Uh-oh, it's on the floor. Dropping shit all over the place today. If you want to know, that one, just random. Plug that in. Plug that in. I haven't put the magwell on yet because those 5KU magwells don't fit with the CTN fella. I don't think it likes full auto. Don't think it likes semi-auto. That's interesting. Feels crunchy. I wonder if the trigger bar's worn out in this gun. really do wonder if that trigger bar is worn out. Yo. All right, back in we go. It's not really a good sign. I don't know yet if that's the TTI kit or if that's the trigger bar. I wonder if that's why my trigger pull is getting shorter and shorter these last few days. I wonder if the trigger bar is wearing itself out. This feels more crunchy. I'm going to work on that. I'll be back.